oh, do you want a bag? And I said, oh, 아니요. And she said, bag? And I was like, did I say it wrong?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said no properly.
In Korea, I think there's often the expectation that you're fluent in Korean or you're just zero Korean.
Oh, like, let's go hang out here. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. But that's kind of like secret for like, no, never.
Yeah. Well, we should do that next time.
Next time. When's
never
next time? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pagoda One with
Joanne from Canada.
And
John from America.
And me, George from the UK. Hello, everybody. So today we're going to be talking about an interesting topic that I think all of you are very interested to hear about, which is learning Korean and how difficult it is.
Oh.
We're thinking about not necessarily the language itself, but the factors, the environmental factors. Living in Korea, what can make it difficult to improve your Korean? Even if you've learned quite a lot back home, or you've been trying to learn a lot in Korea, it can still be really difficult to make progress. I know this from my experience for sure.
I think from all of our experiences.
Everyone goes through it. Right?
We're all riding the struggle bus when it comes to Korean.
So there's lots going on. John, what do you think first? What would you say is your main environmental factor that makes it difficult for you?
I've heard a lot, like, people are like, oh, everyone just speaks English to me and everything. I've never had that myself. What I've had is kind of like the and losing all confidence. Like, as soon as I opened my mouth, none of my words were understood.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just said everything wrong. They've misunderstood me.
Right.
I'm freaking out. So for me, it's all about the confidence, the embarrassment of speaking and not being understood, the possibility of being misunderstood or not understanding how they respond.
Yeah.
Like you say, where's the bathroom? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, thanks.
Nay.
And then you walk away.
And you're like,
cool. And it's just so hard to get past that. The thing is I would say a word and I'm like, you didn't understand that? Like, that is exactly the word.
I know, and you say it in every formulation you can say it.
And they're like, what is the word? And they say it to you like, did I say it wrong? No, you didn't. Then why didn't you understand it? Why?
I had this happen to me as well. So I was asked at the store, oh, do you want a bag? And I said, oh, 아니요. And she said, bag? And I was like, did I say it wrong? I'm pretty sure I said no properly.
Yeah. My point is similar, related to yours. I think there's maybe issues for foreigners living in Korea. I think Korea, people are used to being in a very homogenous culture. So vast majority of people who live here are Korean, speak Korean fluently, obviously. If you're in Europe, for example, everyone there is multilingual, not the UK, but other countries, continental Europe, everyone's multilingual. There's an understanding that you might not be fluent in the local language. In Korea, I think there's often the expectation that you're fluent in Korean or you're just zero Korean. Where it's like, if you're trying, there's not the general understanding of we try to accommodate that. Because we're teachers, we meet people with varying English levels and we always accommodate. We listen super carefully. It's our job, right? Linguistic development. But I think out in the world, people don't have the same understanding.
For sure. To piggyback on both of your ideas.
Please do.
Stealing everything again.
Unoriginal.
First of all, I'm not a colonizer. I think the biggest barrier for me is, as a foreigner that comes to Korea, there aren't really many opportunities to really connect with like native Koreans.
Using Korean language.
Yes, using like Korean language as well. But even before that, I think there's like a really big barrier in connecting with Koreans locally. The reason why is because usually a lot of the foreigners that do come here, they're either here teaching English, so they end up spending more time with other English teachers. Or one of my cases is you try to make friends with local natives, but because they aren't confident in their English, they feel really uncomfortable trying to make a deep connection with you. I've had cases where I say like, oh, like, let's go hang out here. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. But that's kind of like secret for like, no, never. I feel too uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure, someday.
English.
Exactly.
Oh, we should do that next time.
Next time. When's
never
next? Next time. It wasn't the first time.
I remember first coming here, I would go to like, language exchange events and it was all English. And I'm like, where's the Korean?
Where's the Korean? There's no exchange here.
Yeah, that was a part where everyone spoke English. I'd be like, let's speak in Korean. They're like, speaking English the whole time.
And
Bye,
yeah,
guys.
There, done that.
if we look at I think in the world, there's not been a lot of Korean language resources for learners. English, right, there's just so many. But Korean only just is starting to have the market to teach Korean to non-Korean, to people outside of Korea. So it's like developing, and there's not that many Korean teachers yet
For sure.
as a foreign language.
It's getting a lot better, I
Yeah.
think, very quickly.
I think these days they have Talk to Me in Korean, I think is a really good resource for learners. I think BTS also made their own version of like a
no.
teaching
I'm
material.
sorry for the reaction. I just realized. I was like, oh no, but then now I'll be murdered by the army.
Exactly.
I love BTS and all of their content. I think that wraps up our thoughts, very general thoughts on the language learning environment for learners of Korean. Thank you, everybody, and don't forget to
Like,
Comment.
subscribe, share.
share. Bye, everyone.
Bye.